Welcome to our exciting journey into the world of programming. Today, we're going to learn how to build a web app using C#, ASP.NET. In the vast realm of coding, these tools are your magic wands, transforming abstract ideas into digital reality. We'll explore the robust framework of ASP.NET, understand the power of C#, and take our first steps in creating a dynamic application. So, fasten your seatbelts and get ready for a thrilling ride. Imagine stepping into a world where code breathes life into your ideas. That's where we're headed. ASP.NET is a powerful framework for building web apps, and C#, it's the language that makes the magic happen. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is ASP.NET? It's a free, open-source framework developed by Microsoft that enables developers to create modern, dynamic web pages with ease. It's a tool that handles all the complex details of web development, allowing you to focus on creating your unique app. On the other hand, C# is a versatile, object-oriented programming language also developed by Microsoft. It's the language we use to write our logic, our rules, and our instructions for the app. It's like the director of a play, guiding the actors, or in our case, the elements of our web app, on what to do and when. Together, ASP.NET and C# form a dynamic duo, enabling you to craft interactive, powerful web applications. They create robust and dynamic applications. Let's start our project in Visual Studio Code. This powerful editor is going to be our coding canvas. Think of it as a blank slate, ready to be filled with your brilliant ideas. First, click on File, then New Project. A wizard will guide you through the process. Choose ASP.NET Web Application as your project type. Next, name your project. Be creative, but make sure it reflects the purpose of your app. Once you've named your project, choose a location on your computer to save it. This will be your project's home. Then select Web Application as the template. This will give us a solid foundation to build our web app. Finally, click Create. And just like that, you've created your first web app project. Remember, every great app starts with the first line of code. Now, let's design our app. This is where we transform our idea into a tangible interface that users can interact with. We'll start by creating the structure of our web page. Think of it like building a house. The HTML is our foundation and walls. The CSS is our paint and decor, and JavaScript, well, it's the electricity that powers everything. To start, we'll add 2 input fields to our HTML. These will serve as the spaces where users can input the numbers they want to calculate. Each input field should have a unique identifier, which we'll use later to retrieve the values. Next, we'll add operation buttons. These are the plus, minus, multiply, and divide buttons that users will click to perform calculations. Again, each button should have a unique identifier. Now, let's add a calculate button. When this button is clicked, it will trigger the calculation based on the selected operation and input values. Lastly, we'll add a result field where the output of the calculation will be displayed. Remember, this is just the skeleton of our app. At this stage, it might not look like much, but each line of code is a step towards our fully functioning calculator. It's like crafting a piece of art. It starts rough, but with every stroke, every detail, it starts to take form. Every button press brings us closer to our functioning calculator. With our front end set, it's time to dive into the back end. This is where we put on our developer hats and turn our design into a fully functioning web application using C#. The back end is where our app's brain lives. It's the engine room, the place where all our calculations will be processed. Now, let's move on to the next stage of our app development, crafting the back end. This is where C# steps in to give our app functionality. It's like the puppeteer behind the scenes, pulling the strings and making everything work. Our back end will handle the logic for our calculator operations. It will take the numbers from our input fields, perform the calculations, and deliver the result. It's all about taking data, processing it, and returning it in a meaningful way. In the world of C#, we'll create functions for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Each function will take two inputs, perform the operation, and return the result. It's a simple process, but it's the heart of our web app. So grab your developer cap and get ready to dive into the logic behind our calculator. With each line of code, we're bringing our app closer to reality. We're not just creating a calculator, we're creating a tool that will help people solve problems. And that's the beauty of back-end development. It's where our inputs come to life. Exciting moment. Let's run our app. After all the hard work, this is where we get to see the fruits of our labor. We've designed the front end, built the back end, and now it's time to bring it all together. So how do we do this? Simple. In Visual Studio Code, we locate the Run button, click it, and watch as the magic unfolds. You'll see your code compile, and if all goes well, a browser window will open, showcasing your web app in all its glory. But we're not done yet. Now comes the testing. Try out different inputs, click the operation buttons, and see if the results match your expectations. This is your chance to check if everything is running smoothly. If there's a bug, don't worry. It's all part of the process. Debug, adjust, and try again. Test it out, experiment, and see your creation in action. You've just taken your first steps into building web applications. Together, we've journeyed through the creation of a project, the crafting of a front end, and the intricate workings of a back end with C# and ASP.NET. We've watched as a simple idea transformed into a live, functioning web application. But this is just the beginning. The vast landscape of programming stretches infinitely before you, filled with countless opportunities. Remember, the world of coding is full of possibilities. Keep exploring, keep coding. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Professor Brown Bear and the dedicated team at BearCave IT Technologies. Their technical encouragement and support have been instrumental in the creation of this video. Their guidance as we delved into the world of C# ASP.NET was invaluable. This journey into code and programming has been an incredible adventure, largely thanks to their expertise. Inspired by the wisdom and guidance of Professor Brown Bear, we encourage you to continue exploring the vast and exciting world of programming.